The end has come. 2019 F1 season is in the bag. Lewis Hamilton, world champion. Mercedes, world champion. And it was a good season. It had its highs and it had its lows. But now, done. Over. Now, as I'm recording this video, I've just looked at my screen there and it says Charles Leclerc keeps Abu Dhabi GP podium, but Ferrari has been fined 50,000 stewards. Now, $50,000 fined from stewards for declaring the wrong fuel weight on Leclerc's car before season-ending race. And the guy who wrote that, his name's James Galloway. Now, $50,000 to Ferrari. That's pocket change. Let's face it, pocket change to Ferrari. I bet their engineers alone wipe their asses on a daily basis with £50,000 worth of money. £50,000, they could probably just throw that on the streets and I won't care. That is a disgrace. Charles Leclerc should have been fined $500,000. And he should have had his points took off him this race and the next one in Australia. I know Ferrari, there's rumours. You know what? Forget the rumours. It's just guaranteed. We all know Ferrari has got some of the stewards in the backhand, in the pocket. Especially when Michael Schumacher was there. When he was on his 5-year tear-up of F1 from 2000 to 2004. Most of the decisions that Michael Schumacher was involved in always went Ferrari's way. And a lot of people used to speculate about Ferrari then. And looking at this right now, people are going to start speculating about Ferrari now. Everybody knows when it comes to the decisions of the new regulations, I don't know why, but Ferrari has got a veto. Now tell me, why has Ferrari got a veto on the new regulations? Mercedes haven't got a veto. Red Bull ain't got a veto. The Williams haven't got a veto, but Ferrari has got a veto. Now, this is what makes the sport. This is the part of the sport I don't like. That's all what's coming up on my screen now. Breaking news. £50,000 fined from the stewards. I guaranteed one of the Ferrari guys walks into the room and said, look, £50,000, give him his podium, done. Just that quick. This is why they didn't want to make the decision before the race. Because they knew about this before the race. Hours before the race. Why couldn't they make the decision then? No, because what happened is, after the race, or probably during the race, a couple of guys probably went into the steward's office and said, look, take £50,000, probably a bit more, underneath the table, and just let us have the podium if we do get a podium. That's what's happened. Guaranteed. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I wasn't in the paddock. I wasn't in the steward's room, but that's my opinion. Now, enough of them. To me, Vettel got screwed. Vettel got screwed in that race. From the beginning, they wanted Charles Leclerc to finish higher than Max Verstappen. And because they sacrificed Vettel, it kind of sacrifices Charles' race as well. Double stack. And all of a sudden, look, they've done a double stack. Charles went into the pits. And then straight away, Vettel went straight after, because that's a part of a double stack. And what happened? There was a delay with the gun. 6 seconds delay in Vettel's pit. They screwed Sebastian Vettel. in my opinion. Charles, he was a sacrifice lamb today for the F1 race. I don't care what anybody says. And for that, Max ended up beating him anyway, getting the second spot, finished higher than Ferrari in the Drivers' Championship. Never ever been done since the hybrid era started. That has never been done, that Max Verstappen has finished higher than 2 Ferrari drivers. That's an embarrassment. That's a failure by Ferrari. A failure. 100% that goes onto Ferrari. All right, they didn't even win the Constructors. They came second in the Constructors, whatever. But their driver, none of their drivers got in the top 2 of the Drivers' Championship. I mean, the top 3. You had Hamilton, obviously, champion. Second, Bottas. And third, Max Verstappen. No Ferrari drivers at all. And then you got Charles on the internet talking about, he wasn't fast enough for Lewis. You wasn't even fast enough for Max Verstappen. And you nearly wasn't fast enough for Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri Bottas nearly caught you as well. So to me, Ferrari season, all right, they've had a couple of ups and downs. Yeah, they've had the Monzas, they had the Singapore, they had the Spa. But apart from that, let's face it, the Ferrari's season has been a total disaster. Total disaster. If you agree with me, good. If you don't, that's good as well. Put your comments in below and I'll be sure to respond. Twitter and YouTube. Now, what can I say? Lewis Hamilton, the champion. I was saying it yesterday in one of my videos. I said, you know what? It'd be nice to see Lewis Hamilton finish out the season on a high. I know we won the title over 4 weeks ago. We know this. We know we done it in USA. We know this. But it would have been nice it would have been nice him coming into Abu Dhabi and just taking control of the race at the beginning and winning the race. A nice perfect season, nice send-off. He's done 86 wins now, I think 86 wins. So he's closing in on Michael Schumacher's 91 race wins record. Guaranteed to pass that next year. If he doesn't break that race win record next year, that's something going wrong there. Guaranteed to pass that as well. And he's the second driver in history to get 6 wins. And the 6 wins he's won, he's got a pole and fastest lap. Led from the front. So he's got the record for winning and leading from the front. And he's also second in a row next to Jim Clark for getting race win, fastest lap and pole all in one weekend. All in one weekend. So every record, the record for that, he's equals Ayrton Senna's record, that's it, for leading from the front. 7, leading from the front, and pole, and race win from the front. He's equal to Ayrton Senna's record. So all them records are just dropping. This is what Hamilton was saying 2 weeks ago in the press conference. He's not finished yet. He's painting a masterpiece. Because that's what he's doing. Even Michelangelo himself will be proud of Lewis Hamilton, the masterpiece he's painting. Because we're all said and done. When Lewis Hamilton retires, when he finally retires from this great sport, which ain't going to be for at least another 5 years. He doesn't just want to beat Michael Schumacher's record. He wants to humiliate the record. He wants to put that record in the ground, stamp his foot in the ground and say, look, I'm the greatest of all time. Come and break my records if you can. Because he knows when the new regulations kick in, it's going to be hard. He knows. It's not going to be just one team dominate like Mercedes have dominated this hybrid era. There's going to be a few teams in. You got McLaren. They're getting the Mercedes engine. Red Bull's looking good. Ferrari's going to be in there. So there's going to be 3 or 4 teams fighting for a championship. And it's not going to be the same driver out winning every single year. And they're going to get the budgets under control. So there's a budget cap. It's going to be a lot different. This is why Lewis Hamilton is stamping his mark down now. So if he comes in next year, the 70th year of Formula 1 next year, he wants to be winning that 7 world title to cap off next year. The guy said after the race, what's his name? He was getting interviewed after the race. David Coulthard was interviewing Lewis Hamilton. He said to Lewis Hamilton, what are you going to be doing over the winter break? He said, just chilling with family. He's going to be running every day. He's going to be hopping, skipping every day. He's going to be training as hard as he ever could. So when he comes into next season, he can fly off in Australia and put his mark down on 2020 season. He ain't going to be eating cakes. He ain't going to be eating pies. He ain't going to be eating curries. He ain't going to be drinking Coca-Cola. He's going to be training every single day. Guaranteed. Lewis Hamilton's going to be training every single day. No more cakes. Vegan. No more cakes. No more Mars bars. No more Twixies. No more fried chicken. He's going to be there training every single day. And I guaranteed he's going to be coming into Australia as strong, as focused as ever. Because he knows them mans like Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel are going to be gunning him down next year. So he knows he has to be prepared for next year. His preparation starts now. Now. He's not 21 anymore. He's not even 25 anymore. He's not even 30 anymore. He knows next year is going to be his defining season. He wants to break. He wants to equal Michael Schumacher's record. He wants to break it. And he knows next year is his time. The 70th year of Formula One. And he wants to do it. 7-time world champion. 70th year of Formula One. He's going to be ready. And he knows them guys, like I said, Max Verstappen, are going to be waiting for him. So, we're going to go through these notes. We have got Abu Dhabi starts. Lights out of the way we go. Hamilton, brilliant start as always. This track is his track. He's won this more times than anybody. Mercedes has won it more times than anybody. He comes out the block straight into first. Max tries, has a go. Nowhere near. Nowhere near him. First sector, Charles Leclerc comes down the corner. Charles Leclerc passes Max. Max weren't having it. Max comes back. Boom, passes him back. Weren't having it. Vettel tries to pass him. It didn't happen for Vettel. Vettel tried his best. Weren't having it. Now, I've got to admit it wasn't the best race. It wasn't the best race. I've got to admit. I've saw better. And let's face it, you know, the race was rubbish. It was rubbish. I spent half of the race sleeping. Really, sleeping. I had to rewind the race again. I fell asleep. I didn't watch all of it. I had to rewind the race again and I had to go through my notes and do it all again. This is why this video is late. Because the race, come on. 99.9% of the time we knew Lewis was going to win it. Once he stays in front, especially in Abu Dhabi, you can't beat him. You can't beat him. So, as soon as he stayed in front, 10 laps after, I fell asleep. So, the first pit of the day was Carlos Sainz. Lap 9, 3.9 seconds. Sweet. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Lap 12, 2.9 second hard tyres. Ricardo pits. Lap 13, Leclerc pits 2.6 tyres. 2.6 seconds, puts the hard tyres on. A double step with Vettel. Vettel comes in straight after, like I said, double step. And all of a sudden, there was a delay with the gun. Really, Ferrari? Really, Ferrari? And I'm going to say it again and again and again. And to you guys and girls, get it through there. Ferrari's team, pit team, strategy team should be working at Aldi's pumping gas. They should be at Tesco pushing the trolleys and carrying my mum's shopping. That's all their pit team is good for. This is why Ferrari are behind Mercedes. You look at all the races this year. Look at the strategy team, the way they've done with them two Ferrari drivers. If them two Ferrari drivers had the Mercedes strategy team or even the Red Bull strategy team, maybe they could be winning that title right now. Maybe that would be Charles Leclerc on the podium. Maybe that would be Vettel there. Maybe. But no, they've got some Tim Pot strategy team. They should be at the job centre signing on. Now, lap 13, Vettel comes out the pits with his hard tyres. He was in the pit for about an hour. So he comes out the pits, hard tyres, laps up in the first corner in his cold hard tyres. Albon pits at lap 14, 2.8 seconds, hard tyres. So everybody was on the hard tyre strategy. This is what I didn't get at the beginning. The two Ferrari drivers, Vettel was on the soft compound to the medium, and Charles Leclerc was on the medium to the hard. So I don't know why they just didn't keep them both on the same strategy. I don't know. So lap 14, Max said he was on the mic. Max was complaining all night on the mic. He was saying his seat was rattling, he felt vibration. The guy kept saying to Max, kept saying on the radio, was saying, listen, Max, nothing wrong with your car. We're looking into it. Max weren't having it. He kept moaning on the mic, a bit like when Hamilton does. When Hamilton's under pressure, he comes on the mic, starts panicking. It's all right when you do it 1 or 2 times, but when it's constantly happening, it gives you a headache. It just does my head in. So, Albon pits lap 14, like I said. Max said tyres are fine. He didn't want to pit, basically Max. He didn't want to pit lap 14. He said the tyres are fine. Lewis comes on the radio straight away and says, look, tyres are fine. So you knew there was listening to each other's radio, because it was similar time to come on the radio and said, look, tyres are fine, we can go on. Lap 16 Lewis said, tyre feels a bit hot. The tyres were a bit hot, but I'm still okay. But I knew out of them two, I knew Max was going to pit first, standard. Lap 19, Hülkenberg pits 2.6 seconds, medium tyres. Lap 20, Lewis said, if there's a safety car, this is what Lewis said, if there's a safety car and we have to pit and we come out on the hard tyres, we're going to be in trouble. Because if they would have come out on the hard tyres and the pit, yeah, because their strategy was going to go on the hard tyres. Everybody knew that Mercedes was going to go on the hard tyres. So if they would have come on the hard tyres and Max would have pit and put on the soft tyres or the medium tyres, they would have been in trouble, because obviously the safety car, that enables the next driver to catch up to the guy in front. So they would have been in trouble, because the hard tyres take a bit longer to warm up. Everybody knows that. If you know about F1, tyres take 3 times as long to warm up than the medium tyres. So I know 3 times longer the soft tyres and twice as long as the medium tyres. So if Max would have come out on the soft tyres, Lewis would have been on the hard, they said we'd have been in trouble. That's basically what he was saying. So, he goes, there was one available. Basically, Ferrari come on the radio to Vettel and said, look, K1 available to Vettel. Don't know what that means. And I don't give a shit. Giovinazzi hits Kubica first class ball run. That's what Giovinazzi, he's a first class ball run. Nico Hülkenberg, even though he's going to go back to Monaco and play with his little Chihuahua dog, Hülkenberg should have been going to Alfa Romeo. They should have took out that first class moron, Giovinazzi, whatever his name. I know I always botch his name, and I don't care. They should have took out Giovinazzi and stuck in Hülkenberg. Hülkenberg is going home now to play with his Chihuahua dog. No drive for next year. Maybe never again. I know the guy's never won a race in his life, but he's still a better driver, in my opinion, than Antonio Giovinazzi, whatever his name is. So, it comes on there, whatever. And Verstappen pits lap 26 and Kubica at the same time. Both put the hard tyres on. They didn't clash into each other, but I think Kubica pits first and Max Verstappen hard tyres. So, you know, Max was staying on that compound. Hard tyres, that's him for the rest of the race. Now, we all knew what was coming next. Lap later, Lewis pits hard tyres, 3.2 seconds. And then when he came out in front, he was 6 seconds in front of Charles, which was in second place because Charles obviously pitted previous. So, as the race goes on, we've got engine 11. Max can't start coming on the radar again, complaining about his car, saying his engine doesn't feel right. So basically, his engineer said to him, look, engine 11, handbrake effect on the radar. He just said engine 11. Martin Brundle explained to the us who was watching, he don't know nothing about the engine 11, who's not engineers. Even though people pretend on internet that they're engineers and they're not. Says to Martin Brundle, he goes, look, Martin Brundle said it's a handbrake effect. So, whatever. Lap 30, Toto. Toto finally comes out of his pit, comes into the pit lane where the pit strategy are, where the guys were to change the tyres. They said on the radio, look, Toto's going to change the tyre. At one point, when I watched it, I thought Toto was going to change the tyre, but he come out, he was laughing with the pit team, he looked all confident. When's the last time you ever saw that? I don't think I've ever saw that, where you get the head team boss come out, right, stand there, right next to the pit team. So he knew he was confident. I think he was trying to egg on Valtteri Bottas. He was trying his best to get Bottas out in front again so we can try and get that podium. Try and get a podium to round off a nice season. But as it went on, lap 30, Total was there. The pit Bottas, it was a fast pit, put the hard tyres on, medium tyres, and he was gone. Lap 32, double DRS, Charles, this is when Max was chasing down Charles. Charles' tyres were starting to wear away. Like I said before, Charles pitted a bit earlier than Max. So as the race was going on, Charles' tyres were kind of slowly starting to fall away. So I knew by then Charles was probably going to pit again and put the medium tyres on. Whatever tyres he was in, I knew he was going to pit again. He was getting a nice little toe DRS off of George Russell because he was going to overlap George Russell. And Max was getting a DRS off Charles. So Max was kind of getting a double DRS. Max went straight down the line, down sector 2. Went straight past Charles, nothing Charles could do. His tyres were shot. He tried to cut back again, it just weren't happening. So you got Perez. Perez pits hard tyres, lap 38, 2.9 seconds. Charles pits again. This is where I thought Ferrari, again, destroyed. They destroyed Vettel at the beginning. No doubt in my mind, I don't care what anybody says. That delay in the pits was deliberate. I don't give a shit what anybody says. That was deliberate. They screwed Vettel 100%. They double stacked to Ferrari, and Vettel was the second guy to come in. Perfect pick by Charles. And when Vettel came in straight after, like I said, it was a double stack. What happened to Vettel? There was a 6-second delay in the pits. They wanted to make sure that Vettel didn't try and take over Charles. So Charles, because if that would have happened, Charles would not finished higher than Max Verstappen. And they sacrificed Vettel, and I know probably that was discussed before. That's my opinion. So, DRS, Russell, he passed him, yeah. So Perez had the hard tyres, and they've done another double stack, I think, yeah. Lap 38, 2.9 seconds, Charles, and then straight away Vettel coming on the medium tyres, 2.7 seconds. I don't know why they didn't put Vettel on the soft tyres. Why? Lap 38, there's 15 laps to go, and they left Vettel out in the medium tyres. It was a good pitch, 2.7 seconds. They made up for the first debacle, what they've done. Absolutely diabolical, 6 seconds. They put him on the medium tyres. They should have put Vettel on the soft tyres. That's in my opinion. Now, Sainz was trying to pass Lando. There was a car in between them. He couldn't pass Lando. He was trying his best. His tyres was wearing away. So what they said, you know what? We're going to throw you into the pitch. We're going to put brand new medium tyres on. And then we're going to put you out there. And they've done that in lap 43. But going back to what I was talking about with Charles, I think, this is my opinion. You can put your comments in below. In my opinion, I think when Max Verstappen was about 4 seconds behind Charles, I think they should have pitted Charles then. They should have pitted Charles, put the soft tyres on, or medium, and he might have had a better chance to try and come back at Max at the end, but they never. They made Max pass him. They waited for 4 laps after Max passed him, then they pitted him, and I thought that was a mistake by Ferrari. Big mistake. Martin Brothers said, I said it, and the Martin Brothers said similar to me as well. I thought that was a mistake. Anyway, lap 43, Sainz put his medium tyres on. Hopefully, they were seeing if Sainz could come back at the end. And I thought that was a bit of a risky strategy as well. Lap 44, soft tyres, 2.6 seconds. And Stroll, lap 48, Stroll was out. And let's face it, who gives a shit? Who cares if Lance Stroll is out? I'm sure he'll be fine tonight, if you know what I mean. And yeah, the race went on like that. Yeah, the battle at the end between, what's his name? Perez. Perez was chasing Lando Norris, and Lando Norris was holding out for his life. I thought Perez was going to catch him. I thought if he gets in that DRS zone, Norris is going to be toast. They didn't want to pick Norris because they knew if they would have picked Norris, there would have been a chance that Renault would have finished higher than them, and they could not have that in mid-table. Now, they kept Norris out there. He held out to the end. Perez was close, and that was it. And it finished at the end. Lewis Hamilton, the winner. Second, Max Verstappen. And third, Charles Leclerc. And that was done. Bottas tried to come at Leclerc at the end. It was a couple of seconds behind him, and he just wasn't good enough. He was right there. We're nearly within DRS, and he just wasn't good enough. Bottas tried his best, but that was this season. So close, but so far away. That's Bottas this season. Bottas. And yeah, Hamilton won it. Rounded off the season as the winner. Finished strong. I'm going to go on to the standings how it finished. You had Lewis Hamilton won. But let me see the races. How they finish. I'll do the official races. Let's have a look. Let's have a look on here. 4 results, how it finished. We've got Lewis Hamilton with the win. And Lewis Hamilton got the fastest lap. And he got the fastest lap with his dry old hard tyres that he was on there for over 20 laps. He got the fastest lap right at the end, and he got the lap record as well. He finished off and start. It's nothing this guy can't do. Lewis Hamilton first, Max Verstappen 2, Charles Leclerc 3, Valtteri Bottas 4th, 5th place Sebastian Vettel, 6th place Alexander Albon, 7th place Sergio Perez, 8th Lando Norris, 9th Daniel Kvyat, 10th Carlos Sainz, 11th Daniel Ricciardo, 12th Nico Hülkenberg, 13th Kimi Räikkönen, 14th Kevin Magnussen, 15th Roman Grosjean, 16th Antonio Giovinazzi, 17th George Russell, and 18th Pierre Gasly, 19th Robert Kubica, and 18th Lance Stroll. And the drivers, let's have a look at the drivers' championship, how it finished. We know Lewis Hamilton's champion anyway. Lewis Hamilton on top with 413 points. Second, Valtteri Bottas, 326. Max Verstappen, third place with 278. Above the 2 Ferrari drivers. Ferrari failed. 100% failed this season. Like I said, they've had the highs and the lows, but when it boils down to, they failed miserably. And if you're a Ferrari fan, I don't care anyway. You failed. Max Verstappen, third place, 278. Fifth place, Sebastian Vettel, 200. Fourth place, Charles Leclerc, 264 points. Sebastian Vettel in fifth place with 240, and that is a failure by Vettel as well. Finishing below your teammate, your new teammate, just coming to Ferrari, took the reins and took you, and it's a failure by Vettel. Hopefully Vettel, I'm rooting for Vettel next year. Hopefully Vettel can do better next year, because I still think he's got a lot of fight in him. I don't care what anybody says. And hopefully Alonso comes back in 2021. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. So you got Sebastian Vettel fifth place, sixth place Carlos Sainz got it. Smooth operator. Sixth place, he beat Pierre Gasly by 1 point. Smooth operator. That is outstanding performance. If I was going to pick one driver to be the driver of the year, if I was going to pick one, for me, my personal choice is Carlos Sainz, and second, Lando Norris. So you got sixth place Carlos Sainz, 96. Seventh place Pierre Gasly, 95. Eighth place Alexander Albon, 92. Ninth place Daniel Ricciardo, 54, failure. 10th place Sergio Perez, 52 points. 11th place Lando Norris, 49. 12th place Kimi Räikkönen, 43. 13th place Daniel Kvyat in 37. 14th Nico Hülkenberg, bye-bye, 37 points for Renault. 15th place Lance Stroll, 21. 16th place Kevin Magnussen, Haas. And Antonio Giovinazzi, 17th with 14 points. 18th point Roman Grosjean, 8 points, failure. 19th Robert Kubica, 1 point. And 20th place Robert Kubica. The failures out of all them, George Russell, Kubica, to me, they never failed. They tried their best to win a Williams, and their car's nowhere at the moment. They got the most out of their car. But for me, the failures of the season is Roman Grosjean. Actually, Roman Grosjean is a failure just by looking at him. Everybody knows if there's a DRS, a black flag, the track blows up, fireworks goes off in the changing room, someone stole the boss's lunch, someone's left a big log in the toilet. If there's someone to blame, it's Roman Grosjean. To me, the failures of this season is Roman Grosjean, 8 points and a half. Failure. You got his teammate Kevin Magnussen, same car, got 20 points. Roman Grosjean, 8 points. Failure. And the other failure here, to me, is Let's go through the names. Nico Hülkenberg, failure. Sorry, failure. You got Daniel Ricciardo on 54 points and Nico Hülkenberg on 37. Failure by Nico Hülkenberg. Another failure. I'm going to go through more failures. Ricciardo, failure. 54 points. He's a failure as well. Sorry. I know you got a Renault, but you should have been up there with the McLaren. Failure. Alexander Albon, he's done good. Pierre Gasly, he's done good. He had the fight of his life. He went to Red Bull this season. Didn't work out. He came back to Toro Rosso and got his mojo back. Respect to Pierre Gasly. Respect. Carlos Sainz, he's my driver of the year. Like I said, 96 points. My driver of the year. I don't care. And second is Lando Norris. So look at Lando Norris now. He finished harder than Kimi Raikkonen. Failed. But the car's dog shit as well, to be fair. Lando Norris finished his first season. He finished in front of Kimi Raikkonen, Daniel Fiat, Nico Hülkenberg, Lance Stroll, Kevin Magnussen, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Roman Grosjean. You know what? The failure of the year, if I pick them ones I just named, but the biggest failure of the year is Roman Grosjean. Like I said, if there's if someone's left a log in the toilet, if there's fireworks going off in the changing room, if there's a DNF, if there's a crash, any sort of black flag is Roman Grosjean. So, let's see the drivers, the team, how they finished. Mercedes on top, 193 points. No, I want 193 points. Let's go through the standings again. Teams. Mercedes on top, 739 points. Ferrari second, 504. Big gap, man. Big gap. Third place, 417. Red Bull. Red Bull is closing that gap every year in constructors on Ferrari. Every year. 417. McLaren, 145. Fifth place, Renault, 91. An embarrassment by Renault. Renault supplies McLaren with their engines and they have failed again. They have failed. The customer has beat them. Failure. Renault, 5th place with 91 points. 6th place, Toro Rosso, 85, which is decent. Racing Point, 73. 7th place. 8th place, Alfa Romeo, 57. 9th place, Haas. And Williams last with 1 point. And that's how it ended. Mouse a bit patty. And that's how it ended. Let's go through some interviews so we can wrap up in a minute. We'll wrap up this season and I'll give you my opinion at the end. Let's start off with Charles Leclerc. He said he was happy with the podium, but he can't be happy with the gap between Hamilton. Let's do this. Advertisements.
From Max at the start of the race, talk us through that.
Yeah, well, I mean, was okay. I had quite a good start actually, and I think he lost a little bit of traction out of 7, and I took the slipstream, and that's it. And I passed. I tried to manage the race, but Max and Lewis and Mercedes in general were just too quick. So third was the best we could have done today.
How did it feel when you heard before the race about the investigation into the fuel? Did it affect you at all?
I didn't know yet, but no. I mean, at the end, it's like this. And even if I would have known before, you need to do your job. And I don't know what's going on, so I'll ask more details to the team.
You're pretty happy with that way to finish the season?
Yes and no. I mean, very happy to finish the season with a podium, but when you see the gap between Lewis and ourselves, we can't be too satisfied either. But when I'm looking back, 7 poles, 10 podiums, and 2 victories, I will have never expected that in my first season with Ferrari. So on that, I'm happy. There's been progression, there's been highs and there's been lows, and I've definitely learned a lot from the lows. And now my big target for next year is to learn from all the mistakes I've made this year and to come back stronger for 2020.
So now we've got Max Verstappen, a good day at the office.
Hey Max, so Charles got you right at the beginning, but you got him back later on, and it turned out to be a really strong race for you. Just talk us through it.
Yeah, it was a good race. Just a shame in the first lap, but that can happen. And then we just did a little bit of an alternative strategy to Ferrari to go a bit longer, so we had better tyres afterwards, so I could get by. Anyway, I think we were a bit faster than them. And then once I was in second, I could just do my own pace. I had a few engine issues, but we managed to go around it in the best way possible. And at the end of the day, it wouldn't have changed the end result. I would have finished second anyway.
So at one point on team radio, did you hear that you could hear on team radio that Ferrari had pitted and they were pitting twice? That's quite extraordinary that you could hear. You've got that kind of.
Yeah, well, I could hear my engineer. Then I could hear the guns in the background. So I only knew it could be one car. So
Brilliant. And then just looking back at the whole season as a whole, you pleased to have finished really strongly?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to go like this into the winter break.
Have a good winter.
So let's go for Nico Hülkenberg. Nico Hülkenberg happy to relieved it's all over. He's happy to be. He's relieved that it's all over. So it looks like he's happy that he's leaving.
Looking for a car that matches your personality and your budget? Find a
Nico, so close to getting points for your final race. What happened? We didn't see it on the telly. What happened in those closing stages?
Yeah, I was just DRS. I mean, I was on the one stop, and unfortunately, most of the race I was in Lando's dirty air, and that was pretty hard on my tires. And at the end, my tires just died. I couldn't hold on to the pace and just lost lap time, lost a lot of traction. Leading onto those long straights, that's pretty penalizing, and he just hunted me down in DRS. So unfortunately missed half a lap there to get that point. But nevertheless, I feel it was a worthy final race. It was certainly giving it all and enjoyed it actually. I can say, although it was not too spectacular, but felt good to be in the fight and to be fighting for something, for points. I think in hindsight, going to Q3, maybe not the best thing, having to start on the soft. I think the people, from 11 onwards, you saw they had a bit of a different strategy, obviously, and that paid off in the end. But that's it, hi ho, and take that for now.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. What were the emotions when you crossed the line?
No, it was, kind of happy, relief, it's all over. When everybody does hit on you and then does put it in your face, last race, this, that, sometimes it does get to you. So I was happy. I did a good job in the last attempt. Everything went to plan, not like last year. I was happy to finish the race in style, and felt good with myself about the performance. That was important for me to finish in this way. Now, just relieved. Looking forward to give everyone a cuddle back in the garage and grab a beer.
Fair enough. So let's go with Lando. I'm annoyed. I let Perez. Oh, he's mad. I didn't know we let Perez past him. See, I told you I fell asleep. Hold on. Lando knows. I'm surprised. He said he's annoyed that Perez passed him. Let's play it.
Lando, Checo described the move on you as one of the best of his career. What? I'm guessing. What worst time it was for that to happen for you, eh?
I can't believe I allowed him to make the best move of his career. Well, I'll take a.
It looks like he's crying.
I don't know how to say that word now. I forgot the words. What's like a part of it? Credit. That's it. Sorry, I'm tired. I'll take credit for that, of course. I allowed Sergio to do the best move of his career. So no problem, Sergio. But I'm annoyed because of it. I held him off for 4 or 5 laps prior to that. That one lap at the very end, I just wasn't aggressive enough. I wasn't, the driver I needed to be at that current situation. The whole race I did so calmly and so relaxed. And I don't think I switched it on enough when it mattered. I was constantly tyre saving. I was constantly looking after the rears and the fronts, and you kind of fall into the state of mind where you just cruising. In that last moment, you just have to be aggressive and switch your mindset. And I just wasn't quick enough in doing so. And I put a little bit of this down to experience, but I don't want to say that's the reason. I think I knew what I needed to do. I just didn't do it. So it's not because I hadn't been in that situation before, because I had done. And I'm sure from the TV, it looks like he's completely mugged me off, and I look like a complete rookie, and look like I just let him pass, which I pretty much did. So I'm almost a bit embarrassed. I just wasn't forceful enough. I wasn't aggressive enough. So I'm annoyed because that was like pretty much my one big mistake of the race. Apart from that, I was pretty happy. So it was very enjoyable. So that was the main thing.
Well, hard luck, but still points, and enjoy the winter.
So we've got who we got left. Let's do Robert Kubica. He's basically saying it's time to move forward.
It was okay. There was a bit of wheel-to-wheel battle first with.
Robert, how was that last race for you with Williams and maybe in F1?
It was okay. There was a bit of wheel-to-wheel battle first with George in lap 1. We touched. He overbraked into turn 5 and went straight, and we touched there. Or just he touched me, and then with Jovi, we touched quite heavily, and I damaged quite a lot the floor, or right hand side. So last 35 laps has been very difficult.
Was it an emotional weekend for you?
Until now, no. maybe it will come a bit of emotions once. Everything will finish, but let's move forward, and that's how it is.
Yeah, brilliant, Robert Kubica. He was, he came back after that bad injury he had years and years ago. Nobody ever thought he'd ever race in a car, but he came back to F1. That alone is an achievement. So respect to Robert Kubica always. So we've got Kimi Räikkönen, better day today, but still not enough speed. Yeah, the car's a dog shit.
Hey Kimi, it looked like another tough afternoon out there for you. Can you just talk us through it?
Yeah, it was a little bit better than, let's say, the rest of the week and then the qualifying, but still just not enough speed. I could see them and got closer to the points position on one point, but then in the end they kind of fall off a little bit, but we tried what we could.
Frustrating end to the year because it started off so strongly, really, didn't it?
Yeah, I think the first half of the year, we were more on points, but I don't know if it was really, we could have done better. There were some races like Monaco, Barcelona, those places we struggled even on those times, and then obviously the second half, like the beginning of after the summer break, we had a good speed, but for many different reasons we didn't really score points, and then we struggled as a team a bit lately, apart from Sao Paulo. So yeah, we just try to learn a bit more in the next couple of days in testing and go from there.
Thank you very much.
It's got George Russell saying there are areas I need to improve. Let's play that one. Hold on.
Hey George, first question is, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. As of yesterday, I was almost spot on, so yeah, thanks for asking.
Are you able to say what it was yet?
I'll say after I've finished testing.
All right, no worries. And then let's talk about the race. How was it for you?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, almost story of a year that making bad starts, not really getting my elbows out enough, and getting overtaken by Robert. So that's definitely something I need to improve on. And then struggled to overtake him for the first half of the race, and after the pit stop, the pace was mega strong for us. So that was at least promising. But yeah, like I said, I need to improve on the starts and the aggressiveness, and then let's see what we can do next year with some more downforce.
Enjoy testing.
So he's going to be testing for Mercedes, I think, next week in Bahrain. Or Abu Dhabi, I think. What else? We've got Bottas. He goes, he said he had fun despite missing the podium.
Valtteri, we were looking forward to what you could do today, and it was pretty impressive out there. I know the DRS didn't, or the lack of DRS didn't help you out too much, but can you just talk us through that fight back?
Yeah, it definitely felt like the most out of it. You know, I did have fun out there and some nice overtaking. Yeah, definitely was a bit annoying with the lack of DRS. That made things a bit tricky in the beginning to proceed, to make progress, and especially when I saw how close I was to the third place in the end. You know, any small gain before would have been a big help, but that's what it is.
And looking at fourth at the end of the year, how do you look back on the whole thing overall?
Massively different feeling than last year at this point, so much better now. So overall good season, still not quite how I want it to be, but getting there. So that's what I look forward to next year.
So we've got two more videos. We've got Ricardo. Hard tyres was our undergoing. Hold on. Let's do three more. Ricardo, Vettel, then Lewis. Let's do Ricardo.
Daniel, so close to ending the season with a point. Didn't quite work out, but you were pretty busy out there, it looked like.
Sometimes I was busy, and then I was also another B-word board. It was, you know, we know that sometimes the F1 races are like this, and at least for me it was more or less one of those ones. We didn't. I think in the beginning we were looking all right on the soft, but still couldn't really. We were in a McLaren train and couldn't really do anything. But then the hard is what actually hurt our race the most. We just didn't, or for whatever reason, that tyre didn't get going on our car. I felt already leaving the pits, it just had no front grip, and I didn't want to complain on the radio straight away, but I was like, maybe it'll get better. But soon enough, I realised it wasn't going to. So I told the team, look, the hard's not going anywhere, and they could see that as well. And eventually we two-stopped, put a soft on, and then found, a ton of pace. So I think we had the pace today, just wrong tyre in that middle stint. But look, we'll learn from it. I don't want to dismiss that today. But I think importantly after that, everyone takes some time off and get a break. But I think it's important for the team also to keep the spirits high. You know, we did underachieve this year, but there's still a lot of things to learn and a lot of positives, and we did have some highs. So take some motivation into the winter.
All right, have a great winter.
Thanks.
So we've got Vettel. Things didn't click this year.
Hey Seb, I know that you managed to get Alex there right at the end, but I'm guessing this wasn't quite the race that you were hoping for. Can you just talk us through it?
No, I mean there's not so much to talk through. Obviously at the start I didn't have anywhere to go. Then the fact that the DRS didn't work didn't help, because that was when I sort of had an advantage with tyres, which then faded later on in the stint. And after that, obviously with the pit stop that I suffered, then the gap was too big. We fell behind two cars. That wasn't the plan, and then lost a lot of time. So the race was pretty much lost from there. But pace-wise, I think it was what we could do. We were slower than Red Bulls and slower than Mercedes, and we got beat by Red Bull and Mercedes. So.
You said to my colleague Zigo there that you're confident of coming back stronger next year. You're just quite glad to see the back of this year, and you're just excited about the prospect next year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of work ahead of us as a team, but I think this year I think things didn't click the way they should, and I think it's not an awful lot that needs to be changed, but small things here and there adjusted that can make a big difference. And you know, have been around for a while, so I use the experience that I have and a little bit of tiny bit of wisdom that there is, hopefully, to you know, turn things into my favour again.
Have a good winter. Thanks.
And one more, Lewis Hamilton. I had to bring an extra pace this year. No, extra ace this year. Sorry.
Lewis, 11 wins for the season. Great way to end the year. Just talk us through it.
Yeah, man. Geez, 11. Wow. Jeez, haven't even really thought of that. Yeah, what a season it's been. It's just been. I didn't know it was going to be like this. That's for sure. And we struggled right at that beginning, but to pull it all together and to continue to just one foot in front of the other. Hopefully, relatively decent strides. But what a great year of teamwork, team effort, and I like to think that I've been able to raise the bar again this year. I've had to, because I've got all these younger drivers and Valtteri stepping their game up, so I've had to come with an extra ace this year, and so it's not been too far off a full house.
With that stronger rivalries that you've got involved, does it make it all the more satisfying, this performance you've put in this year? Because 11 wins and you're beating some really good guys.
I think it's not. I wouldn't say that it makes it more satisfying, because I don't think every year's kind of been similar in the sense that I feel like I've had those battles. But I would say these last few have particularly got stronger and stronger and stronger. You know, more and more demanding. But I love that. I live for a challenge. So, and I think under pressure, that's when diamonds are made. You know, so that's what I'm kind of always wearing my bling.
Congratulations.
So, that's it. The 2019 season has come to an end. Lewis Hamilton champion, Mercedes champions again. 6 in a row for Lewis. That was 6 in a row for Mercedes Drivers' Championship, and 6 in a row Constructors. Never been done, ever. And I don't think that will ever be beaten, ever again. Especially with the new regulations coming in 2021. When the cars are going to be more close together, going to be more funding's going to be. I think there's going to be a funding cap. But anyway, that's it. The 2019 season is over. Out of 10, I'd probably give it 6.5 maybe. It was a decent season, good season. A lot of battles between the Ferraris and Mercedes and Red Bull getting in there. Max stepping up his game again. Charles stepping up his game. Carlos Sainz stepping up his game. Lando stepping up his game. Rookie season, brilliant for his first season. All the drivers stepping up the game. And I think next year is going to be very close. I'm not going to say who's going to win next year. I think maybe, I don't know who's going to win it next year. But it's going to be a great season. And Lewis Hamilton is the guy to beat. And he's been the guy to beat for a long time. Do I think he's going to get 8 world titles? Yes. Do I think he's going to get the race win record? Yes, of course he is. He's going to break that next year. It's only 6 or 7 away now. Do I think Lewis Hamilton's going to get over 100 poles before he retires? Of course he will, my opinion. And that's the season. It was a good season, and it's going to end now. I will be streaming games. I haven't streamed games for a while because I've been really busy, but I'm going to be streaming games more regular. I'm going to be sim racing, Assetto Corsa Competizione, R Factor 2, and GT Sports, and F1 2019. I'll be streaming all of them at least 3 to 4 times a week if I can. And it's going to be coming soon. Check my Twitch channel out there. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, Solo_P1. Follow me on Twitter, SoloP1. And follow me on Instagram, Solo_P1. And hit the subscribe button on YouTube, alert. So anytime I get in the videos, or hit the alert on Twitch, you'll be the first to get them. So thanks guys for your support this year. I've gained a lot of subscribers this year. I'm on 72 subscribers. That's good enough for me. Bring it on. If you want to subscribe, bring it on. Bring it on. And yeah, this is the end of the 2019 season. 2020, it won't be long after Christmas, and the winter testing is going to start in February, March. And you'll have the review. You'll see the new cars. Before you know it, season's going to be starting in March. I think it's March the 14th, 2020. We've got two new races coming in next year. We've got Vietnam and Zolba, the one in the Dutch Grand Prix. So we've got 22 races next year as well. They've took away Hockenheim. They brought in the Dutch one to replace it. Plus we've got one extra one, which is the Vietnam. So instead of 21 races, it's going to be 22 races, and it's the 70th anniversary of F1. So next year is going to be a special year as well. So this is Solo P1 signing out of the 2019 F1 season finale at Abu Dhabi. And if you want to watch all my videos again, just go on my channel, click on my playlist, and you'll see the entire 2019 F1 season review from qualifying to race day, from Australia to Abu Dhabi. And if you feel like you want to watch them again, just go and watch them again. And if you feel like you want to watch them again, put it on autoplay and watch them again. Go for it. So this is Solo P1 signing out. See you soon when I start streaming on Twitch for games. Solo P1 signing out of the 2019 F1 season. Go Sweet!